Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the Mids MB channel. I hope you guys are good, and as you can tell by the title, today we are giving our Premier League predictions for the season. Now it's coming up to about halfway, we're getting into that thick winter period, and I thought why not give myself a quick Premier League prediction. I hope you guys enjoy this one. We're going to start off talking firstly on the relegation battle, then we're going to go to the top 4 race, speaking about some of the highs and lows, and then we're going to be giving you guys who I think is going to win the Premier League this season, and then we're going to round it off with a couple teams to watch because they've been playing some great football and could potentially cause some upsets to the rest of the teams in the Premier League. So before we get stuck into that, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell, and as we go along, comment down below your thoughts on my predictions. Am I valid? Am I just being crazy? Am I biased being, an Arsenal fan and whatnot? Let me know. But without further ado, let's get on to the relegation battle for the Premier League this season. Now, unfortunately, I think the 3 teams that we have to watch out for the Premier League relegation battle is Leicester, Southampton, and weirdly enough, Wolves. But I'll get on to Wolves last. Starting with Leicester, I personally think that with the performances they've put on, they are just struggling in the league. Like, honestly, it's not their fault, because obviously they've come up from Championship. They've got star players such as Mafedidi playing. They've got Buonanotte on loan from Brighton. But I don't think it's going to be enough. With the aging stars such as Wilfred Ndidi and Jamie Vardy still being key figures in this team, I think it just shows that they just don't have enough to compete in the Premier League. But I could be wrong. Ruud van Nistelrooy could come in and completely change Leicester's fortunes coming into the new year. However, as of right now, I'm not convinced, and I think they will definitely be going back down. Next, I'm going to talk about Southampton. Now, Southampton, I don't know. I think the signing of Ramsdale was good. It was a very good attempt to get some Premier League experience and some really good experience behind the back sticks. Like, I think Ramsdale is definitely a good keeper. He's definitely Premier League standard. However, I don't know. Southampton just haven't been looking too convincing. Again, the goal between the Premier League and the Championship is very, very high. Probably an all-time high, like I said before. But Southampton, aside of Tyler Dibbling and some others such as Kyle Walker-Peters, I don't know if they have enough quality to stay inside the Premier League. The thing is with Southampton, they actually do play decent football. They make chances, they do progress forward, and to be fair, in the first 5 games, they look like they're going to stay rock bottom. But Russell Martin has slowly been improving the team, and it does look like they are going to, take a couple points off of the likes of maybe United on a reverse fixture, maybe someone like an Everton, a Villa, but I don't think it'll be enough to see them stay in the league. However, when they do go down, Tyler Dibbling is going to be at the top of probably every single Premier League's wish list, because I think that boy is too talented. He's such a gem coming from the ranks of Southampton. I think they've done it again, and hopefully, who knows, I don't know where he'll be playing his football next season. Maybe even in January they might try and, a team might try and poach him. I highly doubt it because it's mid-season, but in summer he's definitely one to look out for. And lastly, Wolves. Wolves are a team, it's a bit of a weird one. Wolves are a team that play engaging end-to-end football. They're always up for an attack. They never really sit back against any team, and we've seen this throughout the whole season. However, I feel like this style, it is a bit risky in the Premier League, especially if you don't necessarily have the big names or the talents to allow you to thrive while still playing this way. Now, of course, they've got an absolute gem in Matheus Cunha coming from Atletico Madrid. They've got João Gomez. They've got really good players in Semedo, in Lemina, and also in, what's that French guy's name again? Bellegarde. That's who I was thinking of. He is a very, very good player, and to be fair, in his debut season, did do really well for Wolves. Like I said, they have a lot of good players, but I just don't know. I think it might be a tight run thing. I was going to say Ipswich Town, but I really do believe that they can stay in the league. But I don't know. I said this about Luton last year, and they just about fell out back into the Championship. So I could very, very well be wrong. Next, the top 4 race. This is what we're here for. Who's going to get Champions League football? And might be a name that surprises you. Of course, in the Champions League this season, we already have the likes of, Arsenal, Liverpool and City. But I think Chelsea are definitely going to finish 4th. And to be fair, this is something that I even said in the pre-season kind of period. I said that Chelsea, I think the team is really starting to gel together, and Enzo Maresca is definitely knowing what he's doing. I mean, I could talk about, Arsenal, City and Liverpool, but those are all title contenders. They're definitely going to be in a mix. Obviously, despite Man City losing 5 in a row, 5 in a row, and drawing in the Champions League, bear in mind, this has actually been recorded before the City-Liverpool game, so I assume City have won and they've ended the streak, but I don't know. I could be wrong. When I upload this, let me know in the comments below. Am I wrong or am I right? But despite them losing that many games, their Champions League status in the league, at least in terms of finishing top 4, is never going to be in question, unless like I don't know, something ridiculous happens, like Haaland gets injured and De Bruyne gets injured as well, and then people might start saying, City, who's going to really power that machine? But that's if buts and whatever, and you know, I don't do if buts and maybes, only absolutes. But yeah, Chelsea are a very interesting customer. Nick Jackson I can't lie to you, Nicholas Jackson is one of my favourite strikers right now outside of, you know, people in my team. I think he's really grown from last year. Last year he quietly got, you know, double digits in his debut season after, you know, people saying that he's not really that great of a striker, he doesn't really finish his dinner that much. But I think Nick Jackson is definitely growing into his own. Malo Gusto is playing very, very well. I'd also say Cole Palmer, of course, one of Chelsea's, if not Chelsea's best player and main player as well. The addition of Pedro Neto has been fantastic. Cole at the back looks decent. Fofana is looking like, you know, his past self again when he was really, really pushing it for Leicester. I think Enzo Maresca's team can do it, but you know, that means that the likes of Newcastle, Villa, United, Tottenham, those guys are all going to drop out, which, to be fair with you, I'm not surprised about at all, like at all. But this begs the question, if I think all four of these teams are going to finish in the Champions League, who do I think is going to win the league? If you guys are enjoying this video, make sure you subscribe and also leave a like button. It really helps this video get out to other football lovers like yourself. And I want us to grow MB United, this team of football lovers, so make sure you subscribe and stay posted. But back to the video. Now, I could be biased and say Arsenal, or I could be logical and say, you know, Liverpool have a 9-point lead. Of course they're going to win the league. Or I could say Man City are going to win a record 5 in a row. Can you see that properly? Yeah, turns out I'm going to be a biased Arsenal fan. However, it's not just pure delusion and, you know, copium and all that type of stuff. I just genuinely think that A, Liverpool are not going to win the league, and B, that I said B, I did too. B, I think that Man City, I don't know, I think this is probably the year that they don't win the league, and if anyone else is going to do it, I think Arsenal might do it. And Arsenal haven't been in a position over the last 2 years where they are the team that are chasing whoever is first place. They've always been the one that have been chased, and then obviously buckled a little bit depending on injuries and just, you know, not giving enough in certain games that they should have won but didn't have enough steam in the engine. And personally speaking, I think people are going to be like, oh my gosh, how can you say that Arsenal are going to win the league? They're 9 points behind. Liverpool are the best team right now. The defense thing is, you know, the defense is the best in the league. However, I just don't think personally that Liverpool look that convincing. Like, of course, it's very easy to say, yes, they've got the best player in the league in terms of Salah, or, you know, arguable, someone might say Haaland and whatnot. But I think the fact that they're always relying on Salah to come to the rescue, I think, yes, Salah can do it in terms of, you know, putting up 20, even 30 goals in a season. He's done it before. However, I get it. He's on his farewell tour. Same with Trent Alexander-Arnold. But I think Liverpool just need a bit more. And, you know, I mean, that would justify them bringing in Chiesa, but it seems like Chiesa can't get a game due to him just not staying fit. Like, he's come out, and Arne Slot has come out and said it as well, that he just can't stay fit, and that's why he's not playing. Also, there's a bit of luck. And to be fair, you do need a bit of luck if you are going to win the league. But there is a bit of luck in terms of the teams that Liverpool face. When they do face them, they are going through a bit of an injury crisis. But I'm not gonna use that as a definitive factor. Maybe I might. No, I'm not going to do that because, you know, as Gary Neville says, when there's injuries, no excuses.
I'm not having excuses after this match about Rice and Odegaard. I am not listening to anything. And the idea that you're going to win a league and you start whinging about players not being playing and you start pointing towards them not being playing for a reason, that dropping points.
But that brings us on to the teams that we have to watch for the Premier League this season. I will start with Brentford. And Brentford are a good team. Brentford are a team that always play their football, and Thomas Frank really has a cohesive unit that always know what they're going to do in terms of, you know, the way they're going to approach games. They're never really going to sit back and park the bus for too much of the game. They're always going to give us insane football. And they're also going to have stars that just pull up. I think this is what Brentford are going to be known as in the Premier League in the next 5, maybe even 10 years, and we're really seeing that this season. Obviously, when Tony left, people were saying, oh, Brentford, they might get relegated, they might do this, Wissa and Mbeumo have stepped up magnificently. Almost stammered on that one. But yes, Wissa and Mbeumo have both stepped up. Wissa probably more so than anything, carrying that burden up front, and he's just providing the goals. Not to mention stars such as Mikkel Damsgaard, Kevin Schade, and you know what? Keane Lewis-Potter as well, a great young talent. And I think this Brentford team, with the way they're going, obviously right now at the time of recording, I believe they're in the top 6. I think they can potentially go on and get Conference League football, UEFA Conference League football. So I think they'd have to finish 7th for that. And I can very much so see them doing that. However, the only thing that, you know, makes me say that they probably won't finish in that top 7 is the fact that you're going to have the likes of Manchester United, Tottenham, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, who I haven't mentioned, but a big shout out to Nottingham Forest. And it's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of competition. And to be fair with you, I think it might even depend on who stays fit and who, in terms of the teams, manages to keep their star players fit as well. With the new composition of not only the Champions League, but the Europa League and the Conference League, this new format of the Champions League, it being a league style and more fixtures, we're seeing a lot more injuries, and I think in the league it's definitely going to reflect in, again, who can have their star players fit and available consistently throughout the season. Next we have Fulham, and I can't lie to you, Fulham are like Vibes FC. Fulham and Nottingham Forest, I'm really enjoying not only the football but the environment around the training ground. Everyone seems to be, you know, I don't want to say friends and whatnot, because obviously you have to get along with who you're playing with, but I think that these two teams just have a unit that all are willing to fight for each other and go to lengths for each other. Now, Fulham's marquee signing this summer, and I guess statement signing as well, is not only our very own Emil Smith-Rowe, but it's not even just him. Raul Jimenez is starting to look like his previous self, and not only is he getting the goals, but he's also starting to, you know, show shades of his previous self. And for me, I'm really happy, because obviously after a bad head injury, you'd expect someone to kind of not be the same, but he's doing it. Andres Pereira, Alex Iwobi, also not to mention the loan signing of Reece Nelson has completely transformed that the front three options that Fulham have. After losing Adara Bioyo to Chelsea, it looked like, you know, Fulham's backline is going to be a bit leaky. Who are they going to get? They brought back Joaquin Anderson, and I'm not going to lie to you, he's fitting in like a glove. I think the whole team is just working together well. Anthony Robertson is also one player I want to highlight for Fulham, because I feel like the levels that he was working at last year were probably around here, but this year he's taken it all the way up to here, and he's really become not only a threat going forward, but defensively astute, and I'm just really happy with the progress that he's made. But there we have it. Who I think are going to get relegated are Southampton, Leicester and Wolves. The teams that I think I'm going to finish in the top 4, Arsenal, City, Liverpool and Chelsea, in no specific order. However, I do think Arsenal are going to win the league, and then 2 teams for us to watch out for this Premier League season is Fulham and Brentford. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please make sure that you comment down below. I want to hear you guys' thoughts just as much as I want to put this video out. Trust me, this is for you guys. Make sure you subscribe as well and turn on the notification bell. We're trying to grow MB United, and I want to really next year grow this community of football lovers to the point where we can start doing meetups, we can start doing football tournaments, giveaways, all that type of stuff. So make sure you run it up and share this video with a friend. If you want to see me doing some real life football stuff, make sure you click here. There's going to be a video popping on screen. But until then, I will see you guys when I see you. Peace.